On this episode of Destination Dare, a look at summer reading programs at the Dare County Library, a look at surf rescue operations in the town of Duck, a look at Dowdy Park in the town of Nags Head, an update on the Dogwood Stormwater Project in the town of Southern Shores, and the Town of Manteo provides an overview of the water and sewer system in the town. Every summer, Dare County children have the opportunity to take advantage of reading programs through the Dare County Library that will help keep their reading skills fresh.
The Dare County Public Library has a wide variety of programs for children. The Summer Reading Program is an annual program in the summer.
For the participating children, what do they get out of the program? Well, it's fun. They get to read whatever books they like to read. There's no prescribed reading list. Children get to discover or rediscover the fun that reading for pleasure can be.
The Summer Reading Program is for children ages 2 and up. It's a way for kids to have some fun while keeping those reading skills sharp.
The summer reading program is especially important for children because during the summer, children often think it's a time off, a time that they don't need to read. And if that happens, they can often slide back to where they were at the beginning of the previous year. So we want to encourage them to move forward, to keep reading, to keep building those literary skills.
It doesn't matter where you live. The Summer Reading Program is as close as your nearest library.
So we have 3 library locations in Dare County. One is in Hatteras Village. The other one is in Manteo, right across the street from the elementary school. And then we have the Kildevo Hills Library, which is next to the Baum Center.
The Dare County Library also has resources for children all year round. eBooks for Kids gives kids in Dare County a way to access reading materials online.
We have 3 ebook platforms for children. The NC Kids Digital Collection has over 5,000 ebooks and e-audios for children. We also have the Cloud Library that has books for preschoolers through teens as well as adults. And you can access all of these products or find out more information about them from our website.
There are also more traditional resources for children, even the youngest of readers and those just starting out.
For very young readers in Dare County, we offer board books, picture books, and easy readers.
There is even a child resource collection that parents can utilize to help children alleviate fears and concerns about new and unfamiliar situations.
The Child Resource Collection is put together to help parents during time of grieving, the loss of a pet or the loss of a parent or a grandparent. It also has books about divorce, adoption. So those resources are there to help parents in times when they may not know what to say or what to do, and they can use a book as a gateway to those things.
The Teen Collection contains age-appropriate fiction and nonfiction books to both entertain and enlighten. There are also books on CD and DVD, nonfiction, educational, and entertainment titles. During the school year, school-aged children, grades 1 through 5, can participate in the Hooked on Books program. The program is designed to keep children coming to the library regularly. The Growing Reader Storytime continues year-round for children 2 to 5 years old. The library now lets children read away fines for overdue books.
We want children to borrow from the library, but unfortunately overdue fines can be a barrier to that. Children track their reading, and in 30-minute increments we waive $1 worth of overdue fines for their reading.
So as you can see, the Dare County Public Library has a lot to offer children of all ages. To find out more about any of these programs, contact the Dare County Library nearest you or visit darenc.com/libraries. Or just drop by and check out what might be available for your child.
Ocean rescue operations is an important part of keeping visitors safe on the beaches. Here's a look at ocean rescue in the town of Duck.
My My name is Merrick Dabrowski. I'm the Director of Surf Rescue, which operates in Duck, Southern Shores, and the National Park Service. So we patrol the beaches starting May 1st, and our guards take the stands Memorial Day weekend, that's Saturday, and work through Labor Day weekend, and then we patrol the beaches through the middle to end of October. We're on duty patrolling from 8 to 8 daily. The lifeguard stands operate from 10 to 6. The USLA standards are what we go by, and the minimum swimming standard is 500 meters in 10 minutes. Auxiliary test would be a mile run in 8 minutes, and then you have to go through 100 hours of training and pass with flying colors regarding all the officers checking you off and making sure that you've done everything that you need. To be a duck lifeguard, you've got to have a really good attitude as far as being able to deal with people on a daily basis that some might be upset or distraught, dealing with different situations, but also just to be friendly and kind and all those things that a Boy Scout are. One of the things that I stress with our guards is the ability to work with the other public safety services, with the police department, the fire department, but also with the town. And we strive to really be a part of the town. Even though we're a private contractor, we really strive to be part of the town, and we are.
Duck Surf Rescue is an invaluable tool for the town of Duck and a resource. We work well together, we cooperate, our functions. They're our eyes and ears on the beach. They're there to address medical concerns, obviously surf rescue concerns. They'll call us if necessary, they'll bring us in as a resource, and that's where our job functions flip, so that we can bring in equipment, be it some individual that needs to be restrained or have medical attention in the way of an AED, aiding CPR, that sort of thing.
The lifeguards are there to help you. If you're on vacation, note where they are. If you're not sitting right next to one, note where they are in case somebody gets into trouble. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of the conditions of the water. The National Weather Service posts the conditions of the water. We want you to be safe. The best way to do that is know your limitations. Don't swim in something that is above your head.
In May, the Town of Nags Head opened Dowdy Park Phase 1. Here's an overview of the park and what's to come.
My name is David Ryan. I serve as the town engineer for the Town of Nags Head. We have just completed a successful grand opening for Dowdy Park for our Phase 1 development, and we are looking forward to the future phases of development and embarking on the planning for Phase 2 and Phase 3.
I'm Bob Edwards, the mayor of Nags Head, and this is the grand opening of Dowdy Park. And it's certainly great to hear the crowds and to hear the children laughing and playing like they used to in the old days when the Ferris wheel was here and the go-karts were here and all of that. So it's certainly a great day in Nags Head. We have had a great turnout so far, and today's turnout is just unbelievable with the rainy looking weather. It really is great.
My name is Chris Sawin. I'm the Executive Director of the Dare County Arts Council, and I'm here for the grand opening celebration of Dowdy Park, which also happens to be the 28th annual Outrageous Kids Art Festival. The Town of Nags Head has a long history with supporting the creative community on the Outer Banks. We decided that our Kids Art Festival would be really a good event for it, and things just started falling into place one by one. And by the time we were done, we were full-blown in planning for the grand opening celebration. And so far it's turned out. We got great weather and we're thrilled to be here.
As it stands right now, with finishing up the grand opening for Phase 1, we are going to embark this month with refining the concept for Phase 2 and then putting pen to paper, move forward with the design with hopes of going to construction this fall for completion in advance of the summer season for 2018. Phase 2 will consist of the development of a multi-use field on the west side of the 5-acre tract, as well as some community gardens, a multi-use court, some butterfly gardens, also some trellises to coincide with some of the connecting elements within Phase 1. What we try to maintain is an organic theme throughout the park. And what you'll see is very few straight lines, a lot of curves, a lot of paths that meander through the park. You know, just to give the user a different experience, and then also provide some barriers between the various interactive spaces. The Holy Wall being one, and then also we have some dunes that separate the play area to our west side multi-use field. As we move forward with the future planning for phases 2 and 3, we also see additional opportunities that we can capitalize on from what we've learned with the phase 1 development. You know, as this project evolves and we receive more input from our community, you know, to make this really a great community space for the town of Nags Head.
The town of Southern Shores has been working on the intersection of Dogwood Trail and NC 12 to help mitigate stormwater runoff in that area. Here's an overview of the project.
Standing stormwater, which is nothing but rainwater, has accumulated on this state highway for decades, creating a threat to public safety. And I believe it's important for citizens, property owners, and residents to understand the history behind how this problem evolved. The road to Duck and beyond was originally a sand road. Stormwater infiltrated directly into the sand when it accumulated. Later, when it was paved, water flowed off the asphalt road and infiltrated into the adjacent sand. Then, when more streets and homes began to be built adjacent to the road, the amount of pervious sand surface began to be reduced. Without storm sewer systems and permitted discharges somewhere, it has become a major problem all over the developed areas of the Outer Banks, including Southern Shores.
We have about 8.5 acres of drainage area that flows down to this low point. Of that 8.5 acres, about almost 4 acres is impervious, and the water was all flowing to this location and pooling just south of the intersection where we didn't really have room for it to infiltrate. We were able to sculpt in 3 stepped infiltration basins on the north side of Dogwood Trail that captures that water as it comes down the road. We pull it off the road, put it in these infiltration basins, let it infiltrate as it comes down. So that's water that we're capturing uphill, putting back into the groundwater system upstream from our low point. We've put in drop inlets on both sides of Dogwood Trail. So we pull that water off of Dogwood Trail. We also pull the water that's coming down NC 12 into those drop inlets, and we pipe it across the street down to that low point where we have another drop inlet to collect the runoff coming from the south, and then that water goes over to the infiltration basin. The infiltration basin now is the low point. It's big, it has room for the water to spread out and infiltrate. The town partnered with NC DOT. They purchased a parcel that was available. We did a lot of work with the clearing and grading contractor ahead of time, meeting with them to try to save as many trees as possible. Really good, clean sands, and it's working like a champ. Before construction, we came down and we documented several different storms. A half-inch rainfall event was large enough to fill the intersection with water and to have the water almost halfway across the road down at the low point. During construction, but after the drainage infrastructure had gone in, we got a half-inch rainfall event. And we came out here immediately following the event to see what happened. And what we saw was no water ponded onto the road, the water flowing into the infiltration basin and infiltrating rapidly. It's at plenty of capacity. We're going to be able to handle storms much larger than that.
Southern Shores is committed to environmental sensitive stormwater management. For that reason, any stormwater management techniques that are implemented here follow nationally recognized low-impact development standards. The goal of low-impact development standards is to get standing stormwater off an impervious street and channel it using the least intrusive but appropriate method to a natural infiltration area as quickly as possible, where it will naturally absorb into the ground and the underlying groundwater. That's what this project at North Carolina State Highway 12 and East Dogwood Trail intersection does.
Here's an overview of the water and sewer system and how it's maintained in the town of Manteo.
My name is Josh O'Brien. I'm the utility superintendent for the town of Manteo. The Town of Manteo Water and Sewer Department maintains and operates 3 separate systems: drinking water distribution, sanitary sewer collection system, and also our wastewater treatment system. For our drinking water distribution system, we're a purchase water system, which means we purchase our water from Dare County Water, which is at the Skyco plant facility. It's a groundwater plant, and we're in charge of maintaining quality to the customer's tap, as well as adequate pressure in the distribution system. The sanitary sewer collection system, we're in charge of operation for the whole system and safe transport for each connection to the plant, where we will go ahead and process the water and prepare it for the outfall. Wastewater treatment is a biological treatment process followed by filtration and disinfection. We maintain the delivery of the product from the tap all the way through and as it leaves each customer's house or each customer's business. As it goes through the collection system into the plant, we want to make sure it stays within the system and gets its proper treatment. We also monitor the final effects of the treated water that leaves the wastewater treatment plant as it enters into our local environment. We follow strict guidelines in the collection and analysis of each sample and are inspected on these procedures regularly. As far as the sampling that we conduct for each system, our drinking water system consists of pressure testing, water quality sampling as far as chlorine residuals. We also monitor for bacteriological effects, as well as lead and copper and other permit requirements that we are required to collect. Sewer collection system, the sanitary sewer system, our main responsibility is to keep the wastewater within the pipes and safely transport it to our plant for treatment. Mainly, it's just getting the treated wastewater to the sound and keeping the untreated wastewater within the pipes. As far as the wastewater treatment plant, we're governed by the NPDES permit, the National Pollution Discharge Elimination System, which sets out easy standards for us to follow as far as plant sampling. It sets out daily, weekly, annual, quarterly samples that we go ahead and collect and follow. After the water is treated, it leaves via force main to the shallow back bay to our outfall. For monitoring the effects of the outfall, we have in-stream monitoring where we're required to sample 5 different sites surrounding the outfall. We've added a couple extra sites just to see what the actual effects are beyond what's required on the permit. Within those sites, we monitor for pH, salinity, temperature, and dissolved oxygen in the water. We monitor once a week throughout the whole year and also 3 times a week in the summertime months. So we have a pretty good idea firsthand on the water, what effects the temperature has. We sample at the plant, like I said, as well as within the bay to see if there are any warning signs so we can get out in front of anything in case there was a problem. We collect thousands of samples a year. The results and summary of these samples can be found in our annual reports. Our annual reports are released online on our website. We have our consumer confidence report, which is for our drinking water system. And we also have our performance system report for our wastewater system. In the reports are the summary of samples, any progress that we've made throughout the system in updating infrastructure, and also a list of anything that we think that's pertaining to the system to ensure proper communication with the customer.
That's all the time we have for this episode of Destination Dare.